The history of Paris spans over 2 millennia, from a modest Celtic settlement to one of the world's leading global cities. Key periods include its Roman founding, its growth as a medieval capital and intellectual hub, the dramatic events of the French Revolution, the extensive 19th century modernization, and its evolution into the cultural and economic center of modern France. Ancient origins and Roman rule. 3rd century BC, Paris was founded by the Parisii, a Celtic tribe, on the banks and islands of the Seine River, primarily the Isle de la Cite. This strategic location on a major trade route across the Seine made it an important trading center. 52 BC, the Romans, led by Julius Caesar's general Titus Labienus, conquered the settlement and established a Gallo-Roman town named Lutetia, or Lutetia Parisiorum, on the left bank. The city was thoroughly Romanized with a forum, baths, and an amphitheater, though it remained a medium-sized city compared to others in Gaul. Medieval flourishing. 4th century AD, the city's name evolved into Paris. In 508 AD, Clovis I, king of the Franks, made Paris his capital, giving it symbolic and political weight. Middle Ages, Paris became one of Europe's most populous and prosperous cities, a major commercial, religious, and intellectual center. 12th century, construction began on the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral. The University of Paris, later the Sorbonne, was formally recognized around 1200, drawing students from across Europe and cementing Paris's role as a center of learning. 14th to 15th centuries, the city was challenged by the Black Death and the Hundred Years' War, including a period of English occupation from 1420 to 1436, Renaissance, Revolution, and Empire 16th, 18th centuries. Monarchs like Henry IV and Louis XIII added grand buildings and public spaces such as the Pont Neuf and the Place de Vosges. Louis XIV, however, moved the royal court to Versailles in 1682. Though Paris remained the financial and cultural heart of France and the center of the Enlightenment. 1789, Paris was the epicenter of the French Revolution. Parisians stormed the Bastille, marking the start of a period of radical social and political change. Napoleonic era. Napoleon Bonaparte seized power in 1799 and initiated major infrastructure improvements and monuments to military glory, including the Arc de Triomphe, modernization, and 20th century, 19th century. Napoleon III commissioned Baron Georges-Eugène Haussmann to carry out a massive modernization of the city between 1852 and 1870. This project created the wide boulevards, parks, Bois de Boulogne, Bois de Vincennes, and grand apartment buildings that defined modern Paris. Belle Époque. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were a beautiful era of artistic and scientific innovation, highlighted by the construction of the Eiffel Tower for the 1889 Universal Exposition. World Wars. Paris endured bombardment during World War I and was occupied by German troops from 1940 to 1944 during World War II, a period that ended with its liberation in August 1944. Contemporary Paris in the post-war era. Paris has continued to evolve. In the 21st century, projects like the Grand Paris Express seek to integrate the city more closely with its surrounding region. The city has also faced challenges, including social unrest in the suburbs and the tragic terrorist attacks of 2015.